So we'll have a lesson on this Renaissance piece, originally for lute. If you have the music already, you can just follow along and pick up tips about playing Renaissance music or playing new pieces on the guitar. But if you need the music, this comes from my Volume 2 Easy Classical Guitar, and there's a link for that underneath the video. So this piece, much like the last one, is just a really pretty melody. So the first thing you might want to do is just play through the melody on its own. That's just all the notes with stems going up, and if it's a chord, it's the uppermost note. So let's just do that right now. And what we want to do is, by playing the melody on its own, we want to ease into the melody and then shape it, so like generally crescendo towards the middle of the phrase or as the notes go up, and then at the end of the phrase we generally taper off. That's a generalized rule, and that it changes sometimes, but if you sing along with your playing, you can probably just follow the natural contour of your voice. But that's the basic idea, and this is an opportunity to work on that when you're playing the melody on its own. So like ease in, crescendo, here, and then back off. Grow, and then back off. To taper off the phrase. Now the second half. I consider in bar 10 the C to be more the melody. That way it kind of follows that general line there, right? Same thing at the end of that phrase there in bar 16 and 15 is the D, D, C, D. I think that E is just part of the chord. And then the final section, there is a time signature change. It's in 4/4, but just keep the quarter note. I keep the quarter note fairly even. I might relax it a little bit, but from the 2 bars before, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So from bar 15, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So you just keep that quarter note nice and steady through there. If you want to change the tempo slightly, like take on a slightly more energetic character for the last 4 bars, feel free to do that, or a more lethargic one. It's kind of up to you. You can treat it either way. I think anything works. So when you add in all the rest of the notes, just keep that melody as secure as it just was. When you first start learning the piece, you might want to think like 1, 2, 3, 1. But really, I feel it more just 1 beat per bar. You're just feeling here, 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 here. So just thump, thump, cha, thump. You know, a very little second and third beat in this particular case. Let's do a walkthrough of the piece now. I'll go a little slower. So all second position, so just keep your fingers aligned and over top of the frets they need to play so that there's no large movements. So that shift is pretty easy though because of the bass string is open. So you're going to use a guide finger, your 4th finger will just stay on that string, and then your 2nd finger is going to stay on the 1st string there. Same thing there, just slide up the finger. I end in 3 because of what happens before and especially afterwards in bar 9. If you add ornamentation, you might just do some simple trills. So I just do like F sharp to G to F sharp with a hammer on and pull off. And then There I treat the D like a suspension and do an upper auxiliary. D, C sharp, D, C sharp, D. Moving on to bar 9. Not much to talk about here. If you add ornamentation, maybe just some trills again. So F sharp, G, F sharp. There I do D, D, C sharp, D, C sharp, D, just like before. Bar 17. Don't forget to do that double 2 there so that 1 and 4 are available for that chord. If you do an ornament here, maybe just F sharp to G. Same thing there. And then I do a mordant at the end. Just to add some flavor to the somewhat bland ending there. So I just do D, C sharp, D. As always, play it without the ornamentation first until you have the piece really solid, like rhythmically secure with nice phrasing, and then you can add the ornaments in later once the piece is secure. If you want. The piece is beautiful as is without ornaments, but if you want to add them in, by all means. Because this is an easy collection, I decided not to do the dropped tuning on the 3rd string like lute players and people playing early music often do, which means that I left out just like 1 or 2 inner F sharps in chords in this piece. I don't think it affects the piece at all. They're just inner voices that I dropped. It would be very awkward to add them in without the different tuning, but I think it sits on the guitar very nicely in regular tuning just like this, so I hope you enjoy the piece. In terms of right hand fingering, I've listed some for the first line, but the basic idea is just to alternate your fingers, and occasionally when there's a chord coming up, just plan for it. So like on bar 3 there I do PM, PI, PA, that way PIM are available for the chord. You could use any combinations of fingerings in that way, but in general you're trying to alternate the fingers as much as possible and avoid repeating fingers too much. Again, the piece isn't super fast, so it doesn't matter that much, but make sure that, especially in the scale passages, that you're generally alternating your fingers and using the thumb for the bass.